I'm switching to the Galaxy Z Fold 4 from the iPhone 13 Pro Max, and in this episode, I'm going to tell you why. So, the very first reason is that this phone just feels way more one handed friendly. So, essentially, what I mean by that is when you're using the Galaxy Z Fold 4, it's a lighter feel, man. Like it just, look at this, it just slips into the pocket super easily. And it doesn't feel as bulky as something like a Note or something like an iPhone 13 Pro or 14 Pro Max. So that's one of the very first reasons I really enjoyed about this Galaxy Z Fold 4 is just how it feels now. It doesn't feel quite as long and tall. It just fits in the hand better. And that usability is very key. Also, it feels very light and it's very premium looking as well. So you can see these edges kind of look like stainless steel. They don't feel quite the same, but pretty close. I gotta say, man, this phone just feels like every bit of money that you're gonna pay for it, it definitely lives up to its price tag. So overall, Galaxy Z Fold 4, a fantastic usability standpoint. It just feels good in the hand. All right, so the next reason is I talked about the one-handed feel, but just kind of like how you can just one thumb this thing easy. It just kind of gives you that pocketable smartphone feel where it's just like smaller feel, but not super large like an S22 Ultra or a 13 Pro Max, so it doesn't feel quite as bulky when folded in like this. And then when you get home later and you just want to open the thing up, you can see this phone turns into a little tablet replacement. And a lot of people might say, well, Nick, it's not quite as big as a tablet. It's not quite as good as a regular slab smartphone. But I think Samsung is actually starting to make a case. And the reason why is they took the Z Fold 4 and thought about refinement, usability more, say, than just kind of just the innovation they had with the original Fold. So basically, what I got to tell you guys is that I'm really feeling this phone because it feels like a well thought out product for usability, not just, just giving you a foldable. And then they improved the in-display or under-display camera right there. You can see it's not that easily visible when you're just using this phone day to day. So I gotta say, Samsung went to town on the usability standpoint with this phone. It really is noticeable, and the crease, it's visible as you can see right there. But are you really gonna be like staring at your phone like that? I mean, I have a couple times to be quite honest with you, but the truth of the matter is that the Galaxy Z Fold 4, I'm usually looking at like that, and it's unbelievable how light this phone is and how you can just turn this thing back into a regular smartphone just like that. You can turn it into a regular smartphone just like that, and it just becomes it's just so different. It's unique. It's just something you're not used to. And yeah, I've tried the Z Fold 2 and 3, and it also had that feel, but now it just feels more ready. It feels more like a phone you would actually want to buy. The next feature I must cover is the improved taskbar or multitasking experience. So if I go to calculator here, you can see there is a population of applications down here. You can see I can easily cycle through these things very quickly, bring the apps in. I mean, it's fantastic. And this is one of those experiences that when you're actually using it, you can't believe how fast you're able to app switch, day to day. And not only that, you still retain Samsung's awesome split screen view. So if you want to go ahead and place two apps side by side, so if you want to place two apps side by side, you can still do that. So a fantastic overall experience. Not only that, I actually have found myself a couple times bringing in some more applications. So I'll bring this up and then I'll bring over in another app. So for example, maybe I'm doing two calculations at once. Not everybody does this, but if you are, bang, you can see I can do another thing right there. So it's just like, it's ridiculous how much more I can do with this phone on the day to day. Especially, I just don't have to open the laptop that much. I don't have to open up the tablet to do stuff that's more serious than what I can do on just a regular iPhone 13 Pro Max or something like the Galaxy S22 Ultra. It makes it an amazing productivity phone, probably the best one on the market. So this next one has definitely got me very happy, and that is the fingerprint sensor. Now, the reason why is because a lot of Android phones do employ a fingerprint sensor within their home screen under display. Now, those are awesome, they're fast, they're high tech, but Samsung decided we want this phone to work very well all the time. So they put the hardware-based fingerprint. Love that. Why do I love that? Because it's 100% reliable. This thing never misses. And just like past iPhone SE back in the day, one of my other favorite one-handed phones, you can go ahead and click that fingerprint, bringing it out of the pocket. You don't even have to look. You're already in. So it's efficient, it's fast, it's pretty boss. All right, guys, so you can see right here, Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4. You might be wondering, why the heck is he showing a shot right here on the entertainment stand here? Here's why. You can see just how narrow this is, and I want to make a point here. This phone is so narrow when folded that even though they increase the screen size so it's more usable, it fits in so many places. Like, you can place this thing pretty much anywhere. Like little cubbies, this thing will fit super easily. When you put it in like a car cubby, stuff like that, it'll fit easily. Bags, purses, anything like that. This phone is fantastic. And that's one of the things I really loved. It's just kind of how easy it fits in so many spaces. And so here is the S22 Ultra side by side. Now, if you take a look at this width difference, it's pretty substantial. So you can see the Galaxy Z Fold 4 actually fits in the body of the S22 Ultra. So essentially giving you way more space to fit this in, again, in your car. If there's storage space is not big enough, your bag, you want to slide it in there, even your pocket. And because it has a lighter weight feel than before, it's even more comfortable to hold. Doesn't really seem to weigh down my shorts quite as much just because of how the weight is balanced versus the S22 Ultra. So overall, a fantastic experience. All right, guys, so the next one is the media experience. So I've been actually enjoying, having breakfast or whatever, placing this on the table and kind of using it, catching up on the news, catching up on whatever I got to catch up on day to day, and you even split apps and stuff like that, like I talked about earlier. That's a great experience. But what's nice is even on YouTube, you can go ahead and click on the comments here, and you could read the comments down here on the bottom half of the screen in this flex mode while you watch a video. Not only that, when I go ahead and I click the full screen mode, you'll see the comments, due to YouTube allowing this, does now come onto the side. Now you can do this on other phones, but it's not quite a good experience like it is here. You can see you can also do that, and then you can pinch in, and now you have a massive screen. Now that crease is very visible from this angle. Bring it back out and take a look at this. So you can pinch in. Now it will cut into the content because it's a very awkward aspect ratio overall, but I got to tell you, man, it's a really great media watching experience. And you can also set this feature where you kind of close the phone right here, and it will continue on to the front screen. So overall, that's not a bad experience either for the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4. So it's not great on this front screen for widescreen video, but it's still solid, and they still employ the punch hole right there. The next thing I really like about this phone is its battery life. Now, it does have the same size battery as the prior Galaxy Z Fold, but the difference is this one seems to be more efficient with the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 CPU. By the way, that thing has been amazing. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But it just gets through the day. Now, it's still got that thing where most Samsung phones have, where you kind of don't see the standby stay at 1%, but the phone still lasts each and every day, all day. I actually never had one time being worried about this phone dying. That's even with some pretty heavy use. Now, power users probably would still want a little more, but overall, it's not bad. It also does have improved cameras. So if you do want to zoom in on stuff a little bit farther, you do have the ability to go ahead and do so. So you can even go up to 30x now on this phone, which is pretty sick. I think it's already, that's enough zoom. You can finally do that. You can use the front camera as a selfie as well. This 8K video on board, so definitely ridiculously sharp video, even sharper than this one I'm recording right now. And of course, you have a pretty solid front-facing camera as well, 10 megapixels. Not the best I've ever seen, and don't be coming at me, are you shooting on the iPhone? Yes, I'm shooting on the iPhone, still has amazing video, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't mean that it's the better productivity powerhouse, because this phone still does it all, but I gotta shoot with something here. But definitely a very amazing camera system. Now, it doesn't actually, I don't think it actually beats my 13 Pro Max or maybe even the S22 Ultra, but it definitely is good enough to not make me want to overlook using the Z Fold 4, because there's so much more it does that that slight decrease in quality in the camera is not a big deal to me. And lastly, I just want to wrap it up by saying this case has been pretty awesome. The standing cover with pen. Now, it's a little flimsy, like it doesn't feel like it's on there super tight like on a regular phone, but with the form factor of the Z Fold 4, that's kind of hard to achieve. Even other makers' cases do feel a little bit flimsy, especially on that front cover, especially right here on this part. But overall, this has been great for usability. Okay, so one of the first things I love is just this modularity. Now, I talked about this the other day, but really in the real world, throughout the day, I'm using the stand case. When it's time to come home, check off my list, start a new list for the next day, pop on the S Pen case, snap it in there, and I don't know, that's just cool. It's just satisfying, it just feels good. And they keep it pretty thin here, so it's not super bulky, it still retains a similar experience. I'm still disappointed that we cannot use the S Pen on the front screen, but I'm sure they haven't developed that just yet. We might see it on the Z Fold 5, but really, it's fantastic. It feels just like most other Samsung phones. Not quite as good, but it's good enough. And definitely, it's going to work fine. It just adds a little bit of bulk, but again, you can just take it off and be good to go. So this case has been truly a good experience, except for this part right here. Slides around a little bit. It's kind of flimsy. And there is some like sticky parts in here that if you take them off, they start to actually peel. So not the highest quality case in the world, but it's definitely usable and it stays on good enough for day-to-day usage. Feels, I'm not going to say like a finished product, like it's the best they can do, but it's definitely getting there. Like it's near the best they can do with this current type of design until maybe they try something different. So if you want to pick it up, I think you're going to have a great experience. This is probably all around the best Android phone money can buy right now. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that down below in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't already, and stay tuned for upcoming iPhone 14 content. And I might even switch 14 Pro Max if it blows me away over the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4. I'll catch you on the next one. Nick here. Be sure to be well, and peace.